Hello, Honors Algebra students. Mr. Lawrence here, and we're doing a little front loading for you. Now, you see this problem here. It says, what is the simplified form of each expression? And I don't know if you can tell. Oh, it's not going to let me write here. Oh, fiddle faddle. I was going to do it in here, but I guess I can't. Let me open up my, like this, and maybe I can kind of cheat here. Okay. So it says, what is the simplified form of 9 to the negative second power? Now, we've talked about this kind of stuff before. And some of you are going to give me the most ridiculous answer. You're going to give me a negative number. A negative exponent in no way, shape, or form means a negative number. And if you stop and think about it, you'll see why. Okay, this is not negative 81. It's not negative 18, which you better not say that. You're in honors algebra. It's not negative anything. It's going to be a fraction. And watch how this works. I've shown this to you before, but let's watch again. Okay, so I'm going to take a real easy number here, like say 2 to the third power. Or let's even go 2 to the fourth. And everyone should know that 2 to the fourth is 16, right? And 2 to the third is 8, right? Hey, what just happened to the 16 and the 8? How did 16 turn into 8? Well, there's 1 less 2. It's like it got cut in half, right? It divided by 2, right? What would 2 to the second be? Well, 2 to the second is 4, of course. Hey, look, I divided by 2 again. You see how that pattern's being established? And then I got 2 to the first, and then I've got 2 to the 0. Now, some of you are going to put down ridiculous things here. You're not paying attention. Look, if 2 to the fourth, moving down to 2 to the third is like dividing by 2, and then I divide by 2 to turn 8 into 4, and then 4 into 2, what am I going to do for this one? Well, I'm going to divide by 2. And 2 divided by 2 is 1. Yeah, 2 divided by 2 is 1. 2 to the 0 power is 1. You should know that. You should already have mastered that. And then what would happen if I do 2 to the negative first? Well, 2 to the negative first power, it's not a negative. I'm going to divide by 2. 1 divided by 2 is 1/2. 2 to the negative second power is 1/2. Cut in half, divided by 2, is 1/4. 2 to the negative third power, 1/8. Right. Did you get that, Alexa? See how that works? So if 2 to the fifth equals 32, no one knows that 2 to the negative fifth, no, if you say negative, I swear I'll make you push floor. It's 1 over 32. Yeah. A negative exponent means to use the reciprocal, means to use the stairs. The fraction is going to, or excuse me, the number is going to move from the numerator to the denominator. So now that you know this, negative exponents should be no big deal at all, or 0 exponents should be no big deal. All right, so let's test it out here before we go do the problem from the digits. Going to have 4 to the negative third. Well, what's 4 to the third? 4 to the third, let's see, 4 times 4 is 16. 16 doubled 32, double that, 64. 4 to the third is 64. 4 to the negative third is 1 over 64. Yeah, it's the reciprocal. Negative exponent means use the reciprocal. If I had something like 2/3 to the negative second. 2/3 to the negative second. So if I have 2/3, and that's being raised to the negative second, I could figure out 2/3 to the second and then use the reciprocal. And so I would end up with 4/9 here. So the answer here would be 9/4. Now, a really cool way to do this one, though, would be to take this and apply the negative exponent And I could say that 2/3 to the negative second power is going to be the same as 3/2 to the second power. And 3/2 to the second power, 3 squared is 9, 2 squared is 4, and see I get 9/4 either way. All right, so let's try it here. What do we have here? We have 9, it's still not going to let me write over there. So I have 9 to the negative second power. Well, I know that 9 squared is 81. 9 to the negative second power is 1/81. That's pretty easy stuff, isn't it? All right, so this is just a little front loading. So let me see here. Let me do that and tap here. And let's see what the next problem is. The next problem says -3 6/10, -3 6/10 raised to the 0 power. How about 1? Yeah, any non-zero number, did you write that down? Any non-zero number raised to the power of 0 is 1. 0 to the 0 power is undefined. Yeah, 0 to the 0 power is undefined. Can't do it, okay? It implies a division by 0, and I'll explain that at another time. Okay, so let's see what this one is. All right, the third one is 4 to the negative third. Oh, Mr. Lawrence already did that one for you, them dogs. Okay, so let's give you another problem here. Oh, wait a second. I'm a little confused. Let me go back. That might be easier. All right, waiting for it to load. Now let me scroll down and try this problem here, simplifying expressions. And it says, what is the simplified form of 5a cubed b to the negative second power? 5a cubed b to the negative second power. So I've got 5a cubed and b to the negative second power. All right, well, which terms are being raised to a negative exponent? Only the b term, right? And I'll bet you're smart enough to tell me that b to the negative second power is the same as 1/b squared, right? So watch what happens here. I'm going to make a fraction out of this, and this term here, because it has a negative exponent, only this term, he's going to use the stairs and move to the denominator. Easy for me to say. So my new fraction, or my new expression, will be 5a cubed over b squared. And there you go. This stuff is super easy, ladies and gentlemen. Super easy. All right, so get over there. Okay, let's see what the second one says. The second one says, what is the simplified form of x to the negative 9th? Well, x to the negative 9th is the same as 1/x to the 9th, right? Okay, hopefully you're catching on. This should be really easy. Let's go to one more section, see if they get a little bit trickier. Let's see. Oh, did I miss one? Yeah, I went too far, didn't I? Okay, evaluating an exponential expression. All right, let's see what this says. And it's loading. All right, it wants to know, let me get a blank page here and get my writing mode. We've got 3s cubed t squared. Oh, that's t to the negative second, right? And then it says for s equal 2 and t equaling -3. Well, to do this, first thing I'm going to do is rewrite this so that they're only positive exponents. So the 3 has a positive exponent, he'll stay put. The s cubed has a positive exponent. But the t to the negative second will drop to the denominator. Yeah, it'll drop to the denominator. So I'm trying to write this better. This airliner, I think, is about ready to die on me. It's just not doing very well. There we go. And so then we're going to get a t squared here, right? And so Now I'm going to substitute in. I'm going to have 3, and I'm going to have 2 cubed over negative 3 squared. Very important to use parentheses when you substitute in. Now, Mitch, make sure you're paying attention to this, okay? What's being raised to the third power? Only the 2. If you think this numerator says 6 to the third power, you are wrong. You are not following the order of operations. This is multiplication. This is an exponent. Exponents come first. So it's not 6 to the third power. It's 3 times 2 to the third power, and 2 to the third power is 8. The 8 comes from the 2 to the third power. All right. So would you like to say hello, Ray?
Hello, everybody.
That's one of our evening custodians, Ray. I always forget your last name, Ray.
Kornikovich.
Kornikovich. How could I forget that? All right. Sounds like something that'd be good for dinner. All right. So anyway, we're going to do negative 3 to the second power, and that's going to be 9. Now, I love to work smart. I'm not going to multiply 3 times 8 and then put it over 9 and simplify. I'm going to look and see I've got 3 and the 9 will simplify right now. So 3 is going to go into 3 once. It's going to go into 9 3 times. And so my answer is 8/3. Or if you really wanted, you could tell me 2 and 2/3. Pretty cool if you think about it, once you really start to understand what's going on with math. All right, so let's try another one here, and then we'll start wrapping up this video because Mr. Lawrence wants to go home sometime this weekend. All right, let's see here. Here we have n to the negative 4th, w to the 0 power, and it's n equals negative 2, and w equals 5. Oop, I don't know what the heck that is. There we go. Now, if you're really smart like Connor or Maddie or some of the other people in the room, you're going to know that this thing here is going to turn to 1, and it's not even going to be a factor. We're not even going to worry about it. W to the 0 power is 1. As long as w is not 0, we're good. Now this n to the negative 4th is going to be 1 over n to the 4th. And so when I substitute in, I'm going to get a 1 in the numerator. In a quantity, I'm going to put negative 2, raise it to the 4th power. And so this is going to be 1 over 16. Yeah, there you go. Piece of cake. Yeah, all right. Let's see here. I don't think we need any more there. Let's see what problem 4 looks like, and then we will call this quits for the weekend. All right, so problem 4, using an exponential expression. And for using an exponential expression, I'm not going to do this one right now. We are going to worry about that in class. So I will end the video now and say, have a good night, everybody.